This is Dan Bjorklund coming at you from a field north of Collins, Iowa, not too far from Ames, Iowa, to get a reference for those of you who don't know our state, because I know this Virtual Agronomist video series that we have reaches out past the state of Iowa. And we thank you for all of you who follow our videos and our agronomy insights that is the main purpose that we share this. Thank you again, and ask you to subscribe if you're not, so that you can continue to get these videos, because we will be shooting them at least weekly, all during the season, depending upon, what the season is showing us. But normally we have done corn, at least we've done corn in the first two of this year. Today we're going to do soybeans. And I'm standing in front of a field that has a practice performed that I've always had a question in my mind. Do we need to do this in the state of Iowa? And oh man, I know some of you are going to say, Dan, what are you talking about? I'm talking about rolling the beans after planting. So we have a field that has been rolled. I don't have to tell you how crazy the weather's been in April with all the rain that we had, the cool temperatures, and it's continued into May. It's May 20th. I will never forget May 20th, guys, because this is my wife's birthday. But I also am not going to tell you her age, because if she caught wind of this, I would be in big, big trouble. So it's my wife's birthday today, May 20th. I won't forget that. But man, we have had alternating 80s and 50s for highs. We've had lows. I mean, I think even up in northwest corner of the state, we had some lows in the 30s on May 20th, 19th, 20th, last night. So crazy weather. I'm gonna go out to this field and show you why I think there are certain conditions and certain times, certain situations environmentally, where maybe rolling the beans, you're rolling your beans, and I know why we do it, to prevent rocks from getting into the combine. We can go faster. Totally get why we do it. Totally get why they started doing it in the Dakotas first, before it came to Iowa. But I want to show you one of the challenges with this, depending upon the environment that you're dealing with. So let's go look at these beans. Okay, there's quite a bit of residue out here. This is not no-till, but quite a bit of residue, and I'm walking down these rows, and there are some beans that are emerged, as you can see here. And what I always am concerned about when people ask me about soybean populations are the gaps. And man, okay, so got a couple right here. Got a couple right here. And I'm talking 4, 5, 6. And it's rolled pretty good. We had some pretty significant rain. And my question is, how in the heck are these beans going to get through here? Let's just take a dig and see where they're at. Okay, now I just don't see much chance to get through there. Here is where I quit digging in. Right here, I've got, it's this residue from the existing plant. That was where the plant was cut off. And there's no way. We probably didn't even get any even seed planted there. Here's the seed. And I moved this residue back. I don't think it would have made it through. Here's one that's already twisting, and you can see kind of where the soil line is. And we had all of this on top of it. It's not going to make it. And so what I'm looking at, and I can go through I can go through this field, but there are areas, again, where plants have just started to come through. Notice these cotyledons. When you get those cotyledons with that kind of look on it, I see one over here really good. This can be caused by certain seed treatments. One in particular that I'm thinking of to help with SDS. And it's normally not a challenge, but then you get this additional stress of what we're dealing with here. And so the big question is, what is the final population going to be? There's no way to tell by walking this field and trying to determine it. You have to use SkyScout. I'm guessing that these beans were planted probably 10 days, 2 weeks ago in the window that we had in early May. And then they were rolled. And then we've had some significant rain here as these beans were trying to come up. And so there are areas with, oh boy, there's that cotyledon effect. So they were stretched, but there are areas where these beans are coming up, and what you notice is that there's not the residue challenge here. And then you go into other areas I mean, I can find them all over the place. Another example. There's bean that made it, and now look. That's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 feet until we see the next soybean plant. Will something get through here? I don't know. It's time for me to think about what I'm going to do tonight for my wife's birthday. We're in Ankeny, so I'm thinking there's a lot of great places in Ankeny. What about tasty tacos? It's not going to be tasty tacos, but going to take the wife out. To conclude this message to you is, I'm not saying that rolling beans is bad in all situations. There are many times when it's very helpful in the fall for harvesting. It reduces having to worry about picking up rocks. You can set right on the ground and get every pod. The challenge is in a year like this year, and these are the kind of years that I worry about. You plant into conditions like this that are a little bit more stressful. Here it's residue management, but in other cases it could be we have mellow soil, we plant them in there 2.5, maybe even a little bit deeper, and then we get a hard compacting, and then we roll it, and then we get a hard compacting rain, and it's very difficult for the plants to emerge. I know we don't need perfect stands for soybeans because they compensate. But I think this is where SkyScout can help you guys and gals, because when we run the emergence scores or the emergence maps on this field, which we will be doing, we'll be able to tell where there are some areas where there are so many gaps that we may need to do a replant. May not need to do it on the entire field, but we'll have to wait and see. But that's the only way that you can determine your stand counts, is to have the new technology that counts every plant. So that's the message today for soybeans, and I'm certainly going to probably hear back from some that, Dan, you're crazy. I roll my beans all the time and never have a challenge. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that under certain conditions in environmental situations, you can have a field that looks like this, and then maybe it will be a challenge. Dan Bjorklund, Landus Technical Agronomist, signing off. Till next time.